Hey, it's Bob from the 12 Days of Content from Leadpages, and we hope that you've been enjoying all the fantastic marketing goodies you've been getting so far. Be sure to download them all before they disappear. Our final 3 days are focused on our most popular request for education, Facebook advertising. Today's gift is a 14-minute video getting started with Facebook audiences. We break down the advantages of using saved, custom, and lookalike audiences and how to set them up. You've also received our Facebook Audience Targeting Guide, a PDF that gives you all the targeting options available to you within Facebook. Oh, and if you're already a Leadpages member, be sure to check out our new integrated Facebook ads feature. This allows you to quickly create and launch your next promotion without getting lost inside the Facebook Ads Manager. This is our newest feature, and it's available for all members of Leadpages. Now, let's get to the video.
I'm really excited to share with you how you can get started with Facebook audiences. And in this quick video, I want to show you how to create saved, custom, and lookalike audiences for your next profitable advertising campaign. Now, if you're not familiar with Leadpages, since 2013, we've been empowering small business owners, entrepreneurs, and marketing teams to handle and control their marketing, and especially when it comes to paid advertising, get better results with out-of-the-box, high-converting templates that are easy to customize with our drag-and-drop editor. And they're also mobile responsive, so that you never have to worry if your page is going to look great on a mobile device. So when it comes to advertising on Facebook, the audiences that you advertise to are a critical element towards your success. So I want to make sure that you know exactly where to find the specific types of audiences that you can send traffic to and give you a couple pointers along the way. Now, this is by no means an exhaustive training on Facebook advertising or even on Facebook audiences. This is simply here to help you get started and know where some of the things are so that you feel confident in exploring the Facebook Ads Manager and being able to put together an ad campaign for yourself. So let's start out with saved audiences. There are over 2 billion people who use Facebook every single month and over 1.4 billion that are using it daily, most of whom are using it on mobile devices. And wouldn't it be great if your business could tap into those audiences, but in such a way that you're not trying to advertise to all 2 billion plus users, but to a narrow group of maybe 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 people who you've decided are more likely to say yes to whatever your offer happens to be. Now, the first time that you go to create an audience, your business account will be presented with an audience window like this, where you can create a custom audience, a lookalike audience, or a saved audience. And of course, to start a saved audience, you simply click on this button. I would advise you to name your audience right away, but consider returning back to the audience name as you have made your final decisions. At the end of the day, you're likely going to have about 50 different audiences over time or more, so being as specific with your audience name at the beginning can be quite advantageous for you. So in this particular case, what we're going to do is we're going to have people who are in Minneapolis and they're traveling. Then we're going to do people who either live in the location, recently in the location, or traveling in this location. You have different options. And we'll clear out the United States, and instead we'll put in Minneapolis. This geography setting also allows you to choose a radius around the center of the town, up from 10 miles up to 50 miles away, and as you can see, it expands the reach of your specific geography. You can also drop a pin if you'd like to highlight another area, and within that area you can likewise expand the reach so that your geography can be as specific as you'd like it to be. You also have the option of excluding people in a specific zone. So in the case of Minneapolis, we have the zone of the Twin Cities area, and maybe we don't want to include people who live in Eden Prairie, for example, for no particular reason other than the example of our day. We can click on exclude, and as you can see, that is then a nice red zone that the ad does not go to. So people who are traveling within this area of greater Minneapolis, but not if they travel to Eden Prairie. Why you would do that, I don't know. I just want to show you that there are those options. Now, beyond geography, you also have some basic demographics like age. So go ahead and narrow that down as you'd like to. You can also do gender between men and women or all. You can also target the language that's spoken by the people that you're targeting. Finally, you have detailed targeting, which there are well over 1,300 options here. So Don't go too crazy at trying to be too specific, but try to narrow things down based on what you know your audience is into. As you'll notice when you first get started, you can do some suggestions, but I do encourage you to click on Browse and go ahead and see all the different options that are here, including the demographics, for example, some of the financial information that Facebook is able to figure out about the end users, or perhaps life events. For example, the idea of being in a new relationship or being recently engaged. You can choose something like that. Now, as you choose these different options, you'll notice that the range of people in total that you can access is going to be up here at the top. So everybody who's traveling in Minneapolis who has been engaged for 6 months or less, there's 590 of those people. That's too small of an audience. You do want your saved target audience to be between 10 and 30,000 people, at least when you're first getting started. You can also choose different types of interest and behaviors. So feel free to explore those to see all the different options that you have. And finally, you can choose different types of connections based on their relation to your Facebook page, apps you've worked with, or events that you've hosted. So this is how you create a saved audience, and once you have chosen your particular reach, go ahead and name your audience, or just verify that the name of the audience is what you want it to be, and then go ahead and click on Create Audience, and your audience is ready to go. You can always come back in and check the box, come into Actions, and edit that audience to make it be as expanded or as narrow as you'd like it to be. The second type of audience that I want you to be able to create is a custom audience, where you can show your ads to people who already have some type of familiarity with your brand and your business. Custom audiences are all about who has visited your website or who has already signed up to your list or has purchased a product from you. Inside your Facebook account, go ahead and click on the hamburger menu here, and it's possible that you'll see audiences here. It's also possible that you'll need to click on All Tools, come over to the Assets column, and click on Audiences. This will take you to the audiences you've created, and you'll see a blue button like this that says Create Audience. Go ahead and choose that and click on Custom Audience. Now, there are a lot of different options with your custom audience, and we're not going to go through all of them here, but the two most important to pay attention to is the customer file, where you can upload a subscriber list or a customer list through a CSV file, and then the second is website traffic, where you're able to put people into a custom audience based on their visiting of your web pages. A third option that you'll want to pay attention to a little bit down the road is the engagement option, where you can choose to target people based on their interaction with your page or your Instagram profile, and even watching some of your videos or your Facebook Live. For the sake of this tutorial, I want to show you how to create website traffic custom audience, so you can put people who visited certain pages on your website into that specific custom audience. Once you've clicked on Create a Custom Audience from Website Traffic, you're going to then choose which pixel you have, and that pixel ID is unique to your business. You can choose people who have visited your entire website, basically any page that has this pixel on it, and you can do so for up to 180 days, even going backwards. So anybody who has visited your website in the last 180 days, it's possible that you can target them in a custom audience. And certainly moving forward, anybody who now visits your page, now that the pixel is on it, you're able to put this pixel in place and track any visitor that visits your website for the next 6 months. Notice you can also choose, instead of all website visitors, you can choose people who visit specific web pages. The reason you would use a custom audience like this is because you want to track people who visit a specific page, like your thank you page, after they've opted into a free gift or after they've purchased your product. I recommend that you have 3 custom audiences from your website traffic. The first is everybody, so all website traffic, and name your audience something like all website traffic. And then click on Create Audience. Click on Done, and repeat this process for 2 more audiences: custom audience, website traffic, and then people who visit specific web pages. And in this case, the specific pages I would recommend is that you'd have your thank you pages that lead to a lead. In other words, they've signed up for a free gift. They all start with TYL for thank you lead dash whatever. So any web page of yours that has this pixel on it, that has a URL that contains TYL dash, is going to be a thank you page for opting in. And we'll name that audience All Leads. Click on Create Audience and repeat this one more time for all customers. Create custom audience, website traffic, all website visitors who visit specific pages that have something like TYC for thank you customer. That page would only be visited when people have purchased a product of yours, and you would do something like all customers and click on create audience. So now going forward, you have 3 audiences that you can target based on where they're at, and you can exclude people from one or the other as you're going forward with your campaign. Once you have these audiences created, you do want to make sure that you can access your pixel. To access your pixel, you'll check the box next to an audience and come to Actions and click on View Pixel. Facebook will walk you through this, but basically you want to take this pixel code, copy it, and put it on your website just above the head tag. For example, inside of a lead page that you've created using our drag and drop builder, you can click on Page Tracking, then go to Analytics, and paste in the pixel code in the head tracking section. Simply click on Save, and now your pixel code is on your web page. Take the same code and paste it into any other areas of your website, such as your website header or your Shopify store. Then on your thank you pages, you'll click on Install Event Code, scroll down to where you see Lead, and this is the code that you'll paste into any thank you page that people will visit after they've opted in. The value of your lead can be set to 0, or optionally, you can create a value for it, such as $10 US, if that's what you know your business's leads are worth to you. On any thank you pages after a purchase, you'll click on the purchase event code, copy this and paste it into the analytics section of that specific thank you page. For example, if the page that I'm working on in my Leadpages builder is actually the thank you page, then I would enter in this event code into the opening body tag and change the value to the price of my product, making sure that I include the currency my sale is in. I'll click on Save, and in this case, because it was a thank you page for a sale, I'll make sure that my page URL starts with TYC dash and then the rest of my URL. This is based on the custom pixels tracking that we talked about before. If it starts to feel a little overwhelming to work with these pixel codes, you can always click on Email Instructions and send this to your developer. The third type of audience that you'll want to use for your Facebook campaigns is called lookalike audiences. These are powerful because they allow you to scale your ad targeting based on the successes you've had with your earlier audiences. Creating a lookalike audience will be especially useful to you if you have an existing subscriber list or a customer database that you've uploaded through the custom audience option and the customer file. Also, as your custom audience with the pixel traffic you have with all customers and all leads gets expanded, your lookalike audience based on those factors will also be beneficial. Essentially what's going to happen is Facebook is going to look through your entire audience of people in your existing audiences and then make a lookalike or a similar match of people in different parts of the world that have as many characteristics as possible to match who you already have. It's really easy to create an audience like this. You click on Create Audience, then Lookalike Audience, choose the source audience, such as all customers, and then what's the location in which you want to create that lookalike. You'll notice that you have countries and regions, and you can create a different audience for each country that matters the most to your current advertising goals. For example, if you know that your offer goes over really well in Australia, go ahead and choose Australia. You'll notice then that you can choose a range of matching percentage from 0 up to 10. And as you expand the slider, you'll notice that the change in audience size allows you to match a larger audience. However, doing the larger audiences means that the matching criteria gets weaker the higher you go. As you're just starting out, go ahead and choose level 1 to have a nice focused lookalike audience. Then click Create Audience, and Facebook will go through and match as many people in that country as possible to your original custom audience. Repeat that process for as many different countries that matter to your goals. And there you have it, your quick start guide to getting started with Facebook audiences. Now it's your turn to take action on what you've learned, create your first few audiences, and run your next campaign. And if you want to ensure that you get the best results possible with your ads, make sure you're using Leadpages as your landing pages for your ad campaigns. My name is Bob Jenkins. Thanks for watching.